back to the channel, Coding at Home. My name is Matthew Lonsdale, and here we program games in the Unreal Engine. So this is episode 2 of series 3 of the building system. Don't worry for everyone who hasn't been following along. I'm building it in a component, so you could just attach the component to characters and move it from project to project. Alright, so that's the beauty of it. It'll be fully dynamic. So without further ado, we'll jump straight into it. Let's move this, and we shall continue. So let's hit a save all. I don't know what's going on there. Right, so hit play, and so I'm sure if we hit 1, whoop, something happened there. Okay, so we hit 1, we can cancel that build, and we can also move. There isn't collision on us yet, but we can place, and we can't snap yet. So this is where we're up to. Let's see, building component. Actually, let's put a collision on here. So let's put a box collision. Let's see that in the viewport. If you go to your class settings, you should be able to put that to a wooden foundation. Now the box. Now I think because it was colliding with the walls, if you've seen that video, I think that was just because this was a little bit high or something like that. So if you just bring this below the foundation and then make it a little bit wider, let's see the top down, so we can see what we're doing here. Yeah, something like that. Something like that. You don't want to oversize it, because you know what I mean, you don't want problems. But that should catch now. Collision. Now we need a certain type of collision here. So if you go to edit, project settings, minimize that. We'll go to collision, add new object type, and we want structure, blueprint, something like that. Accept, and I do believe I have 2. Let me check my other project. Edit, project settings. Let's see, give that a second. Collision, building, and structures overlap. Right, so this one, edit, make sure that's to overlapping by default. Accept, new object channel, building, to block all. I can't remember what I used here, but I've got them on that. At the end we'll do a clean up and remove everything that we don't use, so that can be closed out. Hit a save all on there. So that is our collisions. Now then, in the BP master pickup for wooden foundation, are we doing anything? No, we are setting it as a structure, which we have done on here. Construction script, we're just setting that as a structure so it doesn't simulate physics. Okay, so that's good. So building component, we've got our line trace. Yes, that is good. We're also going to need to come off of here. We are going to have to cast to the master pickup like that. Pickup, not structure, if you're following along. Because I'm trying to mimic what we've done in here. Yes, is it a structure? Okay, so we're coming off of here is structure. Need to put get structure branch. Okay, so if it's not a structure, you don't want to do anything here. If it is a structure, you need to know is build mode. Is that true? If it is true, you need to promote this to this variable, okay. If it is not in build mode, you need to get the item and ask, is it built, which I don't think we've done. No, so let's check our BP master item. So we need a variable in here, built, and then in the event begin play of this item, yes, there's a little bit going on here because we have done quite a bit of changes, okay, but we'll do all that at the end. So event begin play, we need to do that, we need to do that, we need to do that. That's fine, that can wait, because what we'll do is the placement, and then we'll add the script to add the wood to it and stuff like that, because when we get to that stage of it, you need to have followed on for it to work. Alright, but I'll show you the basics of the building system here now. Alright, so, and how to snap. Alright, so that can wait for now, but in our building component, you can now call off of here just to tide this up like so, and get built, and then if that is true, you're going to need to add the wood and so on. Where's the event graph? Here. Sorry, it's the way I'm doing it's probably fucking stupid. Yeah. So from here, this is where you're gonna add the build information. Like, does it need wood? Does it need stone? Does it need this? That's where you do this, alright? But for now, you need this bit, alright, for the build system to work. Okay, so let's see now. We're in build component. Build component. We're in build component. Okay, so build, that is running. We know this works. So the idea of the snapping is going to be, well, I'm looking at the wrong graph here, snap building. So now, like I said, you can do this by default, but I like to do everything in functions and have keys to do it. Now we're going to use shift to snap. Okay, so we're going to say snap building building, and this is going to be question mark, and we are going to return here, and we're going to need a boolean. So get our player controller, get shift down. If you haven't done that variable, go in your player controller and basically, like we did that in the last episode, do it for alt, do it for shift, and all that sort of stuff. Alright, so you just need to make that input action. You will just get it, just type in shift, okay, and it'll come up input actions, keyboard events, left shift right. You won't have this, I've put that in the inputs, but you will have these two, left shift, and then make two variables, shift down, like that. Okay, easy enough. And then when you are in here, you can do an if. Now if this is true, you're coming along here, but before you check to see if this is true, you need to know, is this valid? Because you don't want to snap to something that you can't snap when you're looking at the world or the landscape. Alright, so if this is not valid, you're going to return. In fact, you don't even need to put a branch in, you can just do that. If this is not valid, do that. Alright, so it's going to come out false. So we are going to disconnect here because we know this is working now. So just move this out the way, because like I said, we're doing it in functions because that's the correct way to do it. So we're going to snap building, and then if off of here, and then if snapping is false, just run our normal graph. Alright, make a bit more space here as well. So that's normal. This is what we're going to do if there's nothing to snap to. Okay, so that'll still work. Let's just test, hit 1, hold shift, nothing's happening. Alright. Okay, it probably should have done something there, I must say. That something should have happened. Does this not know what the BP player is? It definitely should. Snap building. Of course, this is not valid, so this is always going to run. That's fine. Yep, sorry, just confused myself. It's early morning. So we'll come out of there. And then we're going to find the snap type, because the foundations are 200 Unreal units wide and deep, right? So if you want to snap a foundation to a foundation, they're going to be 200 units apart. If you snap a wall to a foundation, it's going to be half that, because you want to snap it on the end of the foundation. So it's actually only going to be 100 units. So there's going to be different types of snapping, virtually all the same, pretty much, but maybe a number gets changed from 200 to 100, because you only have to go as far, and you might need to rotate a wall, whereas a foundation you don't want to rotate that. Alright, so we are going to do a function, and we're going to call this find snap category. Is that how you spell that? Don't care, you know I'm dyslexic and fucking thick, so that's what that looks like now. So what we're going to do here is we're going to spawn the actor from class. We're going to spawn our item, master pickup, right? The item that we're going to spawn is going to be our item, right? We're then going to get the... See, obviously I have a structure about the items, so I'm going to do this two ways. One for the people over the building system, one who's everyone who's following along. Alright, so if you're following along, you want to just get the item info, right, break it, and you want to add a category to this structure. Alright, so I'm going to do that now. This will only take a second for everyone who's not. And this, split that, and we're going to spawn this off the map. So for people who are following along, go to your structures, item structure. You're going to add another enum, but you'll need to add the enum first. So I've added an enum. Well, I haven't done it on this project, have I? So blueprint. For people who haven't, you'll still need to do this bit, okay? So make an enum, snap category. It looks close enough. And I have got 3. So I've got foundation, walls, windows, and doors, and a third one for roofs. Okay, save that out. Now for the item structure, people, just add that to what did I call it? Item category. Snap category. snap type. Okay, hit save. Please don't make me refresh everything. Thank you. And now we can add that. That is done. So if you now go to your master pickup construction script, if you're using this setup, you just need to set the variable like so. So this is snap category and snap type like so, and this will be a foundation. If you are doing, so let's duplicate this, but we'll do it the other way for the other guys. We're going to copy and paste, and this can be wooden wall. Whoops. Wooden wall. Come into here, type wall, wooden wall, this one. You will need to set structure to true here, and here is where you would set that. Okay, like so. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so that's the two different ways. So now when you get snap type, you can set, right, well, we need it in here as well, so promote this to a variable, call that snap type. Okay, then you can hide that. If you don't have the structure, you can just get snap type and promote it in like that. Okay, so nothing crazy. It's like I'm doing two videos at once here. This is madness. Anyway, moving on. Once we have the information from the item, which we're telling it to, we want the information for this type, we then don't, once we've got the information, we don't need you anymore, so we can now destroy it. So that can come in there, and then we can return and you can return here like so. So you probably don't need to promote it to a variable. You could just return on it. That's up to you. Either way will work fine, because we can now come out of here and then switch on enum category, and now we can say, right, foundation snap, wall snap, roof snap. So the foundation snap, right, the juicy bit of the video. So I've done this in a function. So new function, and this is going to be snap foundation, and this is going to want the item type. So if you're dragging a set, and then you can just drag off of here, plug that in, saves typing, then you can delete that. I also need the current look at item. I mean, why am I? I mean, these variables are already in here, to be honest, so fuck that off. Right, I don't know why I was doing that, so just drag in these ones. This one, right, so you've got these three variables, and this is going to give you the information, right? So let's open this up. Now I've collapsed this inside a function for no reason whatsoever. That was stupid. Can I expand that node and move it so I can see what I'm doing? Okay, so here we go. So the look at item, you need to get the world location of the static mesh. Okay, so we're going to need this, we're going to need this, and we are going to not get the world, come back, get the transform, because type in world, it should come up. Transform, and then you can break this. And just in case you want other information, it's better to go that way around. So let's put him up here. Right, so we also need to do all that. That's fine. Right, so what I'm going to do the print strings, so I'm going to explain it, so you're not just copying, because there's no point just copying this shit, because you're not going to learn anything. So I'm going to explain this, and I'm going to print strings, alright, so it makes sense to you, so you can make your own stuff, because we're here to learn, not just copy, because you'll never be able to make a game if you do that. So if I print the string of this location, okay, so we're going to print this location string on screen, and then I'm going to return for now, and then I'm going to just call, can we just call build or something? Yeah, build with the item info. So just drag build in, and we're going to build this item for foundation. We might need to put a delay here. I think, yeah. No, we don't need a delay. We need to, this is an infinite loop, right, at the minute, so this won't work. And Region will go, nah, I can't do that. I mean, look, I'll show you. Just go, nope. If I go here and press 1, place that. Now if I go here, hold shift. So I mean, not quite right there anyway, but okay, so if we just print here, make sure that call's working. Snap. Just make sure that that works. One. Right, so this is not valid. Okay, so the collision is the problem here. So in here, we are looking for structure blueprints, which is what you will make this. Okay, so on the placement of the item, which is down here, so this is the actual spawning of the item. What you want to do, you can either do it here, and you can set collision of the static mesh object type, right, and then you can set that here, or you can copy that, save you have to do it dynamically in case you want to craft anything else other than structures. I would put that on the end of this one. So a foundation, you then want to get the static mesh, you don't have to use that, you can just drag this one and set it to a structure blueprint. Obviously that'll be hollowed out for when a structure blueprint, and then when it's built it'll be a building. Okay, but for now we're going to use this just for everyone else. So we should be able to hitting 1. Got a bit of an error there. Let's see what's going on. I'm sorry if this is looking stupid now, but I'm trying to teach, not just learn. So right, so basically on this line trace, if this fails, you need to set this to none. Okay, so when you look away from the item, we don't want that anymore. And if this cast is hitting something, but it isn't a BPMS item, you also need to set this to 0 or to none. Alright, otherwise it thinks it's looking at it. So let's compile, and now you should be able to look something like this. So I've pressed 1, but I am now not seeing an item. Alright, so what is happening is my line trace is now going through the world. Fuck me. I'm sorry. So we need to be able to not go through the world. So in the build component, you're going to have to put static mesh in there as well, because the landscape is a static mesh right at the minute until you want to change that to landscape. So you can have, the reason you'd want to do that is because a foundation can be placed on the landscape, and it can only be placed on a landscape in most games. So you need to know if you're hitting a landscape to know if you can place it here, because you don't want to place a foundation on top of a rock. Or the other way to explain this is, if you want to build a campfire, it has to be on the land. You can't place that inside a house on top of a table. That's another way to explain it. Another one would be, you can't place a crafting table on the land. It has to be on top of a foundation. Or a bed has to be on a foundation. It can't just be on the landscape. And then that's why you would change the landscape from static mesh to its own collision type of landscape. Alright, but anyway, so now we've got a foundation, and if we hit one again, we've now got this foundation. If we hold shift, we've got an infinite loop. Alright, so we need to be able to break out of that for now while we are testing. So if we come here, we need to have a branch. That's all it takes to stop an infinite loop, because it then waits for the exit path. So if, and we get player, and we get right mouse button, okay, and if that is true, just cancel the build. But at the minute, right, we don't need that in there anymore. We're not actually building anything. We're just printing. Where is it? We just want to print string here, don't we? Snap foundation. Sorry, I haven't even brought the fucking function in. Right, so foundation snap. And we just want to print this, and then it'll all make sense. Alright, so bang one down, hold shift, still got an infinite loop. Okay, so set build mode to false. We might need a delay. Yes, okay, so might want a delay in there as well. Fuck's sake. Okay, snap, right. So, as you can see, the line trace, if I hit the middle here, and what I'll do is I'll change that line trace to frame rather than duration. 1 frame. Jump back in here, bang one down, and hold shift. So, you can see the line trace, if I'm looking at the middle of this foundation, I'll take the mouse off the hand off the mouse. I have got yes, like you can see, that's right. I was just jogging my memory. So this item, no matter where I look at it, is at 2965 in X by minus 578, and it's 100 in the Z, right? So that's where this item is in the world. Okay, so now then, if we get snap foundation, okay, and we print this line trace hit location, okay, and see what that gives. Hold shift here. So this item is roughly in the last, it's nearly in the same place, but it's at 27 something. Now if I move down, I'm at 2, 8 something. If I move up, I'll be at 2, 6 something. Alright? But the world location stays the same. So, if I get the world location and minus it from the hit line trace location, I'll get a number from 0 to 100 before I come off the end. Alright? So, let's jump out and show you that number. So, if you now take this number, vector minus a vector from this number, and print that out, this will give you, and I bang this down here, hold shift. So if I look in the middle, I'm going to get nearly 0, 0, 0, 0. Obviously, ignore the z for now. We're just looking at x and y. So let's find the middle. So there's 0 by, well, nearly 0 by 0. So that's the middle. Now, if I want to go this way, you can see the y goes up to 97, 93. But the x is still the same. Now if I go this way, it'll give me minus 96. So now we've got information. So now we know which part, if we went here, we've got minus 98 in the x and minus 97 in the y. So now we've got information we can work with. Alright? So, if we take this information, right, and we want to break this vector, because we don't want the z, we'll just forget about the z, okay, and then you need to go drag off of your vector and go equals vector. You're going to get one of these nodes, right? This node is the one you need. This is a vector equals to a vector, and it's got this float here on the bottom is a tolerance. So the tolerance that I found is 30 units. So from the middle you're at 0, and then 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 to a 90 at the end, so 97. So putting 100 in here will have a tolerance from the center all the way to the end. But if we put a tolerance of, say, 30 or even 35, that's quite a big tolerance, and we want to know, is this equals, so you want to branch off of here. Okay, we're not returning yet. We need to come in, right? So is this, and then what we want to do is we'll split this struct pin, because we only want the x and the y. Just forget about the 0 and forget about this 0. Now, is this equals to 100, which is, or 95, because it went to 97, but I just use 100 because it's a nice round number, and then I've got a tolerance of 35. All right. So is this 100 and x, right? And you will have to do 100 and y, 100 and minus x, and 100 and minus y. So you'll have to do this for all four sides, which we can do. Well, we can do that now quickly. So just print for the four sides, like so. And this is, if this is false, check this. If this is false, check this. If this is false, check this. And if this is false, just say no snap found. Print. Does everyone else do that? Because I do that all the time. So it says no snap found. Okay. Now then, so we're going to want 100 and x. We're going to want 100 and y. We're going to want, make sure you zero that out. We're then going to want minus 100 and x and minus 100 and y. Okay, so now we've got our four corners. So if we then wanted to print here, we can print, and let's go up. Print this again. What the fuck's going on here? Print again and go right. I think this is, yeah. and then grab them. This would be left, and this would be down. Something like that. Okay, and now you will see we have, so if I stand here, have another one, hold shift, no snap found, no snap found, no snap found, no snap found. I have not connected something up. Obviously I've rushed ahead. Yep, so here, here, and here. Connect all that up, obviously. Fuck me. And then we'll jump in again. And, ooh, that one. And we want to press 1, hold shift. So this is saying snap left. So we've got that wrong. This is saying no snap found. This is saying snap up. This is saying snap right. No snap found on this side, so we might have mistyped something there. But you get it. So this is saying snap left, snap right, snap up. So up, right, left. And this should say, hang on, up, left, right, down. So it's the down one that's not working. So why? Because we've got 100 and 100, so I have not zeroed out that number. That's why. Okay, so I think we might have guessed that bit wrong, but the order, we need to work this order out. So let's figure this out now. So what we're going to do is we go here and up. That is in the right direction. That is right. That is down. And that is left. No, so down and left are the wrong way around. Okay, so this is supposed to be in here, and this is supposed to be in here. Okay, so minus x. Yes, that would make sense, obviously. So now we've got the location, or we've now got a direction of where we want to snap something. So now we can just set an offset, all right, and we could split this open. So for up, we want to set, so we're looking at x, so x is positive. Now for the foundations are 200 units, so we just want to put this 200 in x. So we can do that. We'll duplicate for right. We are going to want to clear that one and put it 200 in y, and for down we'll want to put it to minus, sorry, clear that one, we want, what the fuck, clear that one, we'll want minus 200 in x, and for the last one we'll want, clear that, and we'll want minus 200 in y. Okay, and then we can return. Like so. Okay, so now we've got our snap for our foundation. Now the wall is exactly the same, but you would have to change these to 100s. Now there's probably a dynamic way of doing it, so you could set the size in the structure to tell people the size of the item, and then you can get the item size, and then you can tell it how far to snap to the left or right, which is probably what I'll do at the end of the series for the bonus one. Okay, so let's come out of here, and we are where? Here. Okay, so now we've got the snap foundation. So after here we want to set the item transform okay, so If snapping is true, yes, 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 right. So, after this, sorry for the autosave, let's move this out the way for now. Oh, fuck that off, actually. So now we've got our snap foundation. We want to set the transform now. So let's do another function, call this set transform. Okay, and then basically what we want to do is get the current item is valid. And do you know what, even before that, you could probably put a snap in here. If that is true. How have I done this? I've went into here. And then if snap is true, like so, we've then got the static mesh. And we want to get the world location. Or you can get the transform, because we might want the transform at a later date. But you now want to get your snap offset. And you want to plus the world location to this, break this open, to the location of this. And we're going to do rotations at the end. But you want to plus these, and then you want to set your spawn transform, and you can make the transform and just connect them up for now. Okay, hit true. So what's going on here is we're getting that world location, which was 2,700 and something, which never moved. We're adding the offset that we want of 200x, minus 200x, 200y, or minus 200y. Okay, and then we're adding them together and we're getting a new location, and then we can return. Okay, so we've now gone to set the transform. This is for later. Okay, so snap is true because we're in this side, so we've hit true here, so this will be true. Now then, there is more in that function, but we'll come back to it. And now at this point, we want to spawn a temporary or temp actor. Okay, so the actor we're going to spawn here is going to be our item. Off of here, you want to spawn actor from class. Make this your master. This type. The transform is our new transform. Okay. Then we are going to set collision for the static mesh to off. Okay. And because the box you don't want off, the static mesh collision you want off, because you can get box, and that is your collision box. You could rename that if you wanted, so you're not confused, but that is there. All right, so blah blah blah, right? Compile, build. Yeah, that is that box. You want to leave that on because you don't want to set collision. You don't want to do this. This is not good, right? This is what you want, just in case anyone had problems. And then you want to get overlapping, which we'll miss for now. Because we have not set that up. So all we're going to do here is we will set material from the static mesh. So we can just grab this, set material. Because this is a temp actor, we want the blue material. and the collision box is now in here, is where we'll go from red to blue. Alright, but we'll do that in a minute. So we're going to set the material, and then we will return, and at this point we would set, can it be built here? Alright, that's when we would set this. So this would be ticked, and then you'd have another one unticked. But we'll come back to that, because we just want to see it working. So after that, we can then, of course, now do our delay of 0.1, and then you would have a branch off of this, if it can be crafted here or not. But now we are going to, instead of having all this shit, we're going to put this in a function, and we're going to go ask to place item, and you're going to want a reference to this item, right, which you will need to put in there. And then we're basically just saying player right mouse button and left mouse button. Okay, so if right mouse button is true, you're going to want to destroy this actor. If right mouse button is false, check to see if we're placing the actor. If this is still false, you'll have to do this for both. So what we'll do is we'll go, if this is false, we're just going to loop. So you can then get off of here. You'll want to destroy this, right, first. Then you will want to called build, and the build you will want to do is this one. Okay, if this is true, so that means we want to place it, we'll just pop in another function. No, we'll not. We'll just do it in here. We don't want to overdo the functions. There's no need. We are going to destroy. Why do I keep missing the S? Destroy it, because you want to use this is what you want to do, for especially the ones who have been following along. Then spawn actor from class, get your spawn transformation, make sure you're spawning the master, and at this point you would put in this information. Now I haven't done this in this project yet, but what I will be doing for those that have followed on from the other series is I got rid of that, and I've put everything into here. So all these variables for this, all of this are all going to be moving in. Like I said, I'm just teaching the building system, and then we'll jump back onto our for the following along program. And if you haven't been following along, you fucking should be, because this is like, by the end of this, you'll be able to build a game in 10 minutes with all the templates it's got. So go back and watch it from the start. Trust, it's mint, right? So anyway, at this point, I would set, is it placed, is it built? In fact, we can do one of them, can't we? Built. Expose that on spawn, and refresh this. And now this is a built structure, and I missed it there. So that's how you would do that. And then you wouldn't set material or anything. That is now ready to be worked on. So, is there any unconnected wires? No. The only ones we need to do here is build mode. Set that to false after here. Set that to false after here. That stays on and loops back round. And that is it. So let's get back to here and then ask to place or cancel item. And this is the temp. Where's the fucking set transform, set foundation? Where is the spawning temp? Right, I must not have put it in. Let's just double check through our thing. Yes, so find the category, find the snap, set the transform, spawn the temp reactor. Okay, and this is the temp reactor. So plug this into the return. You can sort all this out yourself. I'm not going to waste too much time doing it. Okay, delay for a second. Then ask to place item. You can name that better. Ask to place item or cancel build mode. Like that. And that's all the build function in there. So now if we jump into here and everything's went to plan, oops, just press 1. So we're here and holding shift. It has now found a snap, but the snaps are opposite each other, but that's fine. You can see it's now worked out where to snap something. All we need to do now is swap the minuses around, obviously, because that's shit, right? So let's go and do that quick. So, and this is the beauty of functions. So instead of going, oh, where did I put that? You're going to go snap foundation. What's wrong in here? These are opposite. So you want to obviously go opposite. So put the minus. So to go up, you want to go minus. For right, you want to go minus 200. And for down, it's 200 plus. And for left, it's 200 in the positive. And now we've got that working. Okay, so let's go one more test. There, hold shift. And we've now got something that knows how to snap. Now if I left click, it'll place it. And again here, click. We have not set the collision for these, obviously, but we'll probably do that in the next episode. And of course, snap here, and right mouse button, snap, right mouse button, cancels the build, and then we come out of build mode. So we can pick that up, and obviously I've changed something in there. If you want it, if it doesn't matter if you are placing something this way around, let's place it on the angle, it'll still snap to the sides that you're looking at. That was left click, right click, or the other way around there. There you go. And then of course we'll set them collisions in a minute. So you can look at that one, you can look at that one, doesn't matter. You can mess around with the tolerance. So I'm looking at the middle here, so I need to go at least to there before it snaps. So you could maybe make the tolerance a little bit bigger for foundations, but you get the gist. Alright, so we'll close the video there, I think. God knows how long this has gone on for. Oh no, it's about an hour. Within an hour. That's good. You can probably remove your print strings and connect all that up. For the snap foundations, it's exactly the same. All we need to do is set the 200s to 100s. I think that's it. So the roof was a little bit of fuck on, but you should just be able to copy that, rename that. You don't want to copy it there. You need to copy it here, and you want to snap walls. I think it's just a case of doing that, but you will need to do a little bit of rotation on the next one. But if I was to just very quickly, let's see. Okay, And we will add the walls. Wooden walls, we've done that. Wooden wall, set the structure, set the type. Where am I? Wooden walls, set the type to window, wheels, and doors. Yep, so that's done. So if we went into the BP player, and we duplicated this one, got rid of that, and asked for 2 key, and asked for wooden wall. So if we place a foundation and then go to 2, someone's at the door. Yep, there's a little bit of an issue there, so we will need to see to that, but I've got someone at my door, so I'll end the video here. Don't forget, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.